Okay, magandang araw sa lahat, our future kolehiyalas and kolehiyo, and our future scholar ng bayan. This is Joseph Anthony Biorca, and I will be your review master for physics. And welcome to our series entitled The Basics of Physics, and let's start with mechanics. In this session, we will learn the important definitions and principles that will transform our understanding of motion and forces. And with that, let us start our journey. Let's go. The first concept we need to understand is the difference between the two types of quantities in physics, the scalar and the vector quantities. Okay? Look at the image on the left. We see a vehicle moving on the road. And when we say that the vehicle is moving or gumagalaw yung vehicle or yung sasakyan at 40 units per second, that is a scalar quantity. Bakit po? Because we are only describing the magnitude or the size of the speed and not its direction. Dahil ang scalar po, it only describes the magnitude but not the direction. Now, look at the image naman dito sa kanan. This is a large scale with an apple on top. Isa siyang timbangan na merong apple sa ibabaw. And now, if we say the weight of the apple is pointing downward with a magnitude of 10 units, this is a vector quantity. Because a vector quantity not only contains the magnitude, but also the direction. Okay? The most important difference ng scalar quantities ay scalar quantities have magnitude only. Magnitude lang po. While vector quantities have both magnitude and direction. Parehas siyang merong magnitude and direction. And now that we understand the difference between scalar and vector, ngayon naman tingnan natin yung kanilang mga examples. On the left side, we can see the scalar quantities. Speed is scalar. Mass, which is the amount of material in an object, is also scalar. Time is an important scalar quantity and volume is also scalar. Bakit po sila scalar? Kasi po wala po silang direction, but they only have magnitude. Now, on the right side naman, we see vector quantities. Now, examples are velocity, which is a vector since it also has direction aside sa meron siyang magnitude. Weight is also a vector because ang direction po ng weight is downward dahil sa gravity. And then force is also a vector because it has both direction and magnitude. And acceleration, which is the change in velocity, is also a vector quantity. Now, the understanding of this distinction is crucial po sa physics because it affects our calculations and analysis. And please remember, pakitandaan kung ano ang vector at kung ano ang scalar dahil tinatanong po yan sa mga tanong na kapag vector, dapat kasama sa pagpipilian yung choices, ang magiging sagot nyo dapat may direction. And kapag naman merong scalar, huwag kayong pipili ng merong direction sa mga options. Now, one of the concept that you students often confuse is yung pagkakaiba ng distance and displacement. That is why it is important na pag-aralan natin to. Distance is the total length of the path traveled by an object, and it is a scalar quantity because it only describes the magnitude or it is described only by a number. For example, if a person walks 10 meters and that is their distance, yung objective niya is not dependent on direction but rather on the magnitude alone. Displacement, on the other hand, is the change in position from the start to end. Not the total, but the start to end. It is a vector quantity because it has direction. And for example, if a person walks 10 meters to the north, their displacement is 10 meters to the north since it both has magnitude and direction. May magnitude siya na 10 meters and meron siyang direction which is north. The difference between the two is very important sa physics, no? Displacement is more valued than distance sa pagkakalculate natin ng motions na magagamit natin mamaya sa mga kinematic equations. And just like distance and displacement, yung speed and velocity ay often din na pagpapalit or nalilito yung iba. Speed is how fast an object is moving and it is a scalar quantity, no? And it is only measured by a magnitude without direction. So if a vehicle moves at 10 meters per second, that is its speed. Wala pong direction. Magnitude lang. Now, velocity, just like speed, is also a measure of how fast an object moves. However, it includes direction. It is a vector quantity dahil meron siyang direction. So, if the vehicle moves 10 meters per second towards north, that is the velocity, no? The phrase towards north is the direction that distinguish velocity from speed. Dahil meron siyang, bukod sa magnitude, meron din siyang direction. Now, in our physics equation, and yung mga sample problems na isosolve natin mamaya, it is also important to know kung ang hinahanap natin is speed or velocity. Dahil kapag ang hinahanap natin ay speed, dapat wala tayong ilalagay na direction. On the other hand, kapag naman ang hinahanap natin ay velocity, ay dapat maglagay tayo ng direction. Ngayon, itong speed at velocity, they also have different symbol and different roles in calculations. And now, punta na tayo sa ating pinakang main topic, which is mechanics. Mechanics is the branch of physics that studies motion and forces. Basically, ito yung pinakang alam natin na physics. Okay? It is one of the most famous and important parts of physics na ating pag-aaralan for this series. Mechanics has two main divisions. Meron siyang kinematics and dynamics. These two differ in their approach and objectives. But yung dalawang yon ay focus on understanding the motion. Kinematics answers the question, how do things move? Paano gumagalaw yung mga bagay-bagay? It studies the motion of objects without worrying about the causes the motion. Kinematics looks at the displacement, the speed, and the acceleration. Yung dynamics naman, sa kabilang banda, it answers the deeper questions, bakit gumagalaw yung objects? Why do things move? Or what causes the motion? Dynamics studies how forces affect the motion of objects. It reflects, halimbawa, yung mga Newton's laws and other important concepts about force. So, kinematics, nagde-describe siya ng motion, paano gumagalaw, while yung dynamics provides the reason bakit siya gumagalaw. And both are essential sa pagko-compute natin ng mga kinematic equations mamaya. For better understanding sa difference between kinematics and dynamics, let us look at this example. If you are standing at a window watching a car accelerate, ang sasabihin lang ng kinematics dyan is the car accelerated from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5 seconds. It only describes kung ano nangyari. But there's no reason na sinabi. There's no force. Kinuwento lang kung paano nangyari yung motion. But dynamics goes deeper. Mas malalim po ang dynamics, no? It says, the car accelerated because the engine provided 5,000 newtons of force. Dito, we determine what caused the acceleration. And the answer is the force dahil nag-exert tayo ng 5,000 newtons. So this example shows why is it important to know both concepts, no? Kinematics describes while dynamics explains. Now that we understand kung ano si kinematics, we will begin to provide more detailed definitions and concepts we need for kinematics, no? So kinematics, it addresses several important questions. Where is the object? Nasaan si object? How fast is it moving? And is it speeding up or slowing down? Now, to answer these questions, dapat sa kinematics, dapat tanda natin yung mga main concepts niya. Example, position, displacement, and kanyang velocity. Okay, let's begin with the simplest concept, the position. Position is the answer to the question, where is the object? Nasaan yung object? It describes the location or where an object is at a particular time. For example, if a vehicle is 50 meters from the start of the road, yung position niya is 50 meters. It is a simple number pero wala siyang direction. And therefore, ito ay scalar quantity. Position is a scalar quantity because it only describes magnitude but not the direction. And in our calculation, ang symbol po ng position is letter X po. Now, let's go to displacement. Displacement is represented by the symbol delta x or the increment of x. It is the change in position and it is not where the object is kasi position yon. Displacement is how far it has moved from the starting point. Displacement is a vector quantity, so meaning meron siyang direction. If a vehicle move from position 0 to position 30 meters, ang displacement niya is 30 meters. And because displacement is a vector, meaning meron siyang direction, we need to establish a convention for positive and negative directions. In our convention, yung north and east are considered positive. This means that if an object moves towards the north or east, ang displacement niya is positive. On the other hand, south and west are considered negative. Meaning, if an object moves towards the south or west, ang displacement niya is negative. Now, this convention helps us convert directions into numbers and equations that we can solve for easily. For example, if an object moves 8 meters east, ang displacement niya is positive 8 meters dahil siya ay papuntang east. On the other hand, if it moves 8 meters west, ang displacement niya is negative 8 meters. But itong sign convention na to is for the directions lang, not for the magnitude, no? Wala naman pong negative direction, wala naman negative distance or negative 8 meters or positive 8 meters, but nilalagay lang yung positive at yung negative to indicate directions po. Okay, let's try to solve this sample problem. A jogger runs 8 meters east, then 15 meters south, then 8 meters west. What is the displacement? Now, para makapagsimula tayo sa ating solution, identify muna natin kung ano yung ating mga given facts. Okay, meron tayong 8 meters east, meron tayong 15 meters south, and then we also have 8 meters west. Okay, solve na natin. Let's substitute the values. Displacement is equals to 8 meters east or positive 8 meters minus 15 meters south minus 8 meters west. Okay, bakit po negative yung 15 tsaka yung 8? Again, it is because of their direction. Ang directions po nila is south and west respectively. Now, let's perform the operations. Displacement is equals to 8 meters. Now, negative 15 meters minus 8 meters will give us negative 23 meters. And then, 8 meters plus negative 23 meters is equals to negative 15 meters. And then, let's indicate the direction. Displacement will have 15 meters south. Bakit po south? Kasi po, yun po yung natirang direction. Dahil 8 meters east and 8 meters west will just cancel each other. And therefore, ang matitira natin is south. But there are cases where yung displacement are not on the same line. In those cases, they form a right triangle, and we need a different approach to solve them. Now, when two movements are perpendicular or at right angle to each other, ang result niya is a right angle. And here, the Pythagorean theorem becomes our partner. The Pythagorean theorem is one of the most important mathematical tools we will use dito sa kinematics. The Pythagorean theorem states that the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides, or yung A at yung B, equals the square of the longest side, or yung letter C, and also known, ito yung tinatawag natin na hypotenuse. Now, in the equation, it is A square plus B square is equals to C square. Now, we will use this formula when the displacement are perpendicular or kapag yung forces are at right angle to each other. Okay, so let's try to solve this problem. A hiker travels 12 kilometers north, then 5 kilometers east. What is the shortest distance back to the starting point? Okay, para makapag-solve tayo, given natin is 12 kilometers north, and meron din tayong 5 kilometers east. And kapag ipa-plot natin yan sa Cartesian plane, ganito ang magiging itsura niya. So, yung 12 kilometers north and then 5 kilometers east, it will form a right triangle. Dahil hahanapin natin kung ano yung resultant vector nila. Okay, from our given, let's substitute the values. Gamitin natin ang Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared is equals to C squared. Okay, let's substitute the values. A squared, which is 12 meters square, plus 5 meters square is equals to C squared. And therefore, 12 square natin is 144 square meters plus square ng 5, 25 square meters is equals to C squared. 144 plus 25 will give us 169 square meters is equals to C squared. Again, C ang hahanapin natin, hindi C squared. And then, let's continue. Ang gagawin natin is we take the square root para ma-extract natin ang roots ng ating mga nakasquare. Okay, square root of 169 is equals to square root of C squared. Square root of 169 is equals to 13 meters is equals to square root ng C squared is C. And therefore, ang sagot natin is C is equals to 13 meters. Okay, so punta naman tayo sa adding of vectors. Adding of vectors, when we add two or more vectors, we can add them to get a result called the resultant vector. Kagaya nung hinanap natin kanina, nang ginamitan natin ng Pythagorean theorem. Adding vectors is not as simple as adding numbers because we take into consideration yung kanilang directions. There are two main methods of adding vectors. Meron tayong graphical and meron din naman tayong tinatawag na component method. Okay? With this, we will explore the definition and both the approaches in detail. Okay, first, we have the graphical method. Graphical method is a way of drawing vectors on paper and measuring the result directly. Ibig sabihin, hindi tayo magko-compute. Ang gagawin lang natin is ilalapat natin yung ruler pagkatapos natin mag-plot ng mga lines tapos susukatin lang natin. Kung ano yung maging sukat niya, yun na yung magiging resultant vector. Okay? The graphical method uses arrows to represent vectors. The length of the arrow represents the magnitude, and the direction of the arrow indicates kung ano yung magiging direction po ng vector na yon, kung saan siya papunta. Now, paano ba magdodrawing or magpa-plot ng vectors using graphical method? Okay, first, kailangan mo mag-draw ng first vector natin na dapat tama yung scale. Halimbawa, kapag tayo gagamit ng scale, dapat we use it sa rest of our graph. Okay? Kung ang gamit natin is 1 kilometers is to 1 centimeter, dapat all throughout ng pag-graph natin, ganun ang gagamitin nating scale para maging accurate. Okay, first, draw the first vector to the correct scale and direction. And then after that, starting from the end of the first vector, kung nasaan yung arrowhead, ng ating first vector, doon tayo magsisimula ng ating second vector. And then the line from the start to the end of the second vector is the resultant. And then after that, after natin ma-measure, or rather after natin ma-plot, ang gagawin natin is ilalapatan lang natin siya ng ruler or ng protractor, tapos from there, susukatin na natin. And then after all, this method is visual and easy to understand compared doon sa magko-compute tayo sa component method. But again, please be reminded that this is not a very good practice for precise calculations. Okay, ganito yung mga sample problems involving graphical method. Okay, let's say two forces of 3 newtons and 4 newtons are applied perpendicular to each other on an object. Kapag sinabi nating perpendicular, it forms a right angle. Okay? Perpendicular lines are two lines in the same plane that intersect to form a right angle. And, kagaya ng ginawa natin kanina, since ito ay perpendicular, gagamitan natin to ng Pythagorean theorem. And kapag na-plot natin yan, yung dalawang forces natin, ganito yung mangyayari. Sabi, perpendicular, and therefore makapag-form ito ng right angle, and consequently makapag-form ito ng right triangle. Okay. One side is 4n and the other side is 3n. So yung head ng ating 3n papunta doon sa tail ng ating 4n is the resultant. And also take note, for results to be accurate, gagamit tayo ng scale na gagamitin natin all throughout sa pag-graph. Okay, so for this scale, ang ginamit natin is 1 Newton is equals to 1 centimeter. Okay, so kapag mag-graph tayo, since 1 Newton is equals to 1 centimeter, ang 4 Newton natin, dapat ang sukat niya is 4 centimeters. And then, ang sukat naman ng ating 3 Newtons would be 3 centimeters. And then, since ito ay graphical method, wala tayong kailangang i-compute. Ang gagawin natin is para makuha yung resultant, let's just measure. Lalapatan natin ng ruler para ma-measure natin kung ano yung resultant vector. And kapag tama yung ating pagkakaplat at pagkakasukat, kapag nilapatan natin yan ng ruler, ang magiging sukat ng ating resultant vector is 5 newtons. Or, kapag sinukat mo yan, lalabas dyan is 5 centimeters. And now, punta na tayo sa component method, which is, of course, more advanced, more complex way of adding vectors, no? It is more accurate dahil ito ay magsusukat na tayo, and it is better for complex problems. Now, the component method breaks vectors into their horizontal and vertical parts. The horizontal part, yun yung tinatawag natin na x component, and then the vertical part is called the y component. Parehas doon sa ating partition plane. Now, after that, when the vectors are in the same direction, we add them. Okay? Kapag same direction, halimbawa, parehas silang papuntang north, parehas papuntang south, papuntang east, or papuntang west. If they are on the same direction, we add those vectors. When vectors are in the opposite direction, kabaliktaran naman, we subtract them. Okay? Halimbawa, ang isa ay papuntang east, ang isa ay papuntang west, positive ang gagamitin natin doon sa east, negative naman doon sa west. And therefore, kapag sila ay magkaibang sign, we subtract. And then, when vectors are perpendicular, doon tayo gagamit ng Pythagorean theorem. And ito, katulad kanina, we have the same sign convention, no? Okay? North is positive in the y direction, and east is positive naman sa x direction. While ang ating mga negatives naman, we have the south. South is negative sa y direction, and west is negative in the x direction. Now, this convention helps us perform yung ating mga calculations ng mas madali at mas accurate para hindi tayo malito at magkamali ng sagot. Okay, yung kaninang problem na ginawa natin sa graphical, gawin naman natin sa component method. Now, two forces of 3 newtons and 4 newtons are applied perpendicular to each other on an object. What is the magnitude of their resultant force? Okay, ang sabi, they are applied perpendicular to each other. And kapag perpendicular, it forms a right angle and consequently, it forms a right triangle. Now, kapag perpendicular, based on our discussion kanina, we use the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared is equals to c squared. Okay, before tayo mag-solve, let's identify the given facts. We have, let's say, A is our 3 newtons, B is equals to our 4 newtons, and the C is equals to the resultant force, which is yung ating hinahanap for this problem. And then, we substitute the values. 3 squared plus 4 squared is equals to c squared. 9 plus 16 is equals to c squared. And 9 plus 16 will give us 25 is equals to c squared. Ang hinahanap natin is si c. And therefore, ang gagawin natin is we take the square root of these two. And will give us square root of 25 is equals to the square root of c squared. And then, square root of 25 is 5. And square root of c squared is equals to c. And therefore, ang ating resultant force is equals to 5 newtons. Again, kaparehas siya nung ating ginamit sa component, sa graphical method, and pinatunayan natin using the component method. Okay, another problem. If two vectors of equal magnitude are applied at an angle of 180 degrees to each other, now what is their resultant magnitude? Okay, ang sabi sa problem is we form 180 degrees, which is a straight angle, no? And para makapag-form tayo ng straight angle, dapat meron tayong dalawang vectors applied at opposite directions. Okay, solve na natin. Ang sabi, equal magnitude applied at 180 degrees to each other. Okay, let the equal magnitude applied be equals to 1. Again, kapag conceptual yung mga ganitong tanong, like walang binigay na numbers para sa inyo to solve, always use 1. Gamitin nyo yung 1 dahil yun ang pinakamadaling ma-solve natin. Okay, now let the equal magnitude applied be equals to 1, which is opposite direction dahil 180 degrees. And according sa ating discussion kanina, kapag ito ay opposite direction, we will subtract. Okay? Now, let's substitute. The resultant vector is equals to 1 newton minus 1 newton. And our resultant vector is equals to 0 newton. And now we can infer that given that there are equal magnitudes are applied at opposite direction like 180 degrees, the rope will remain stationary and there won't be a winning team kapag halimbawa sa tug of war yan. Kapag ang dalawang teams na naghihilan sa tug of war, they applied the same magnitude of forces and 180 degrees or opposite direction, please expect na hindi yan gagalaw. Okay? Walang mananalong team.